Good afternoon, everybody. I hope all of you are safe and taking care of yourself and your near and dear. Today, we will be discussing about a very important topic, basically, which is going to be your pillars of your business. The two very important pillars of the business is what in today's session I will be demonstrating. Uh, the first pillar is definitely all of us know that it is your cash flow management, especially with regards to your receivable and payable management, and how do you overall manage your cash flow. And the second pillar, very important pillar, again, is your inventory management. How do you manage, especially in case of a trader or manufacturer, how do you manage your inventory? How do you manage your lean inventory? So these are the two very important things. And all of us know in the last 6 months, we have gone through an unprecedented difficulties in our business, in our personal life, and and this pandemic has really caught everybody unaware, and literally all of us were unprepared. And as it is, we have been seeing that even before corona, the businesses were not doing really well, and this one is really rock the boat, and we are like in the mid sea with great storm. So how do we overcome? So in any case, we have to overcome. So the greatest asset that we have is the resilience. How do we overcome, and how do we take care of your business such that in the long run it is going to help your business and manage and maintain your business in a better way. So I would be actually, using Tally to demonstrate these two pillars. How do you manage, and how important is it for you? And I hope that all of you who are attending will definitely have uh, some kind of a technology that you use for your business, whether you are using Tally or any software. Generally, the functionalities and features that I'm going to demonstrate today, I'm sure that any software that you are using, they would definitely be having these functionalities and features. And now it is very, very important for all of you to start leveraging this technology. And we have seen in the last 6 months, we have seen that how uh, critical was technology in this last 6 months. We have noticed that businesses who are able to manage during this COVID pandemic are those businesses who have adopted technology or have digitized their business to an extent. And a very good example that I can take is the if you see the restaurant business. So the restaurant and uh, of course, the other tourism and other segment or sectors have got impacted very badly. But just to give you an example, if you see restaurants, so what happened? Almost literally today, every restaurant have adopted the digital platform, and they have tied up with this, the marketplace like Swiggy, Zomato, and at least they are now able to literally survive. So, and it is very important that you start adopting the technology and digitize your business operations to the maximum. And this is the right time for you to start exploring these things, so that over a period of time, the small things changes that you bring in your organization will be a habit, and then it becomes a routine. So let me just share my screen. Yeah. Okay. Right. So I have a sample demo company here. Uh, so let me just quickly load this company. So this is a sample demo company. The first thing that I'm going to demonstrate today is basically about how do you manage your cash flow. So all of us know that the major part of your cash flow management depends on how well you manage your receivable and payable. And today it is very important that we also have to concentrate equally on the amounts that we are supposed to pay to our vendors, uh, to the extent that how we concentrate more on the receivable, because today the credibility in the market also a very important aspect that as businesses we have to keep in mind, such that like we don't have any breakage or bottleneck in our regular or the normal businesses just because we are not keeping our commitment to our vendors. So the first thing is that how do you manage your billwise detail, or how do you manage your receivable and payables? Now, if you take Tally, in Tally, basically we have this Billwise module in Tally, and once I enable this Billwise module, then all my vendors, the vendors is basically all the accounts under your sundry debtors and under sundry creditors will automatically get enabled for Billwise detail. Now, using this feature or using this functionality of receivable payable management, or you can call it as a billwise detail, what is that we would want to achieve? Number one, does my technology that I'm having, does it allow me to specify the default credit period? So generally as a business, and I'm sure that in the last session, during my introduction session, I spoke in detail about what are the things that you should be looking for in the technology so that you have a better control. So one is that the credit period. So how can you set up a default credit period? Sometimes what happens in your business, you might have some customers where you might be giving a different credit line, and for some of them you will have a different credit period. So, and also in my last session I just touched upon saying that how you derive or arrive at your credit period, right? So the question is, number one is that yes, credit period is one. Can I set up a default credit period so that by doing this, what happens that while passing an entry, let's say your data entry operator is passing an entry, so that person really need not have to worry about saying that to this particular customer what is the credit term that we have agreed upon, and what is the credit period that needs to be given. So all this can be set up at the master level, so that it automatically captures at the transaction level. So the advantage of giving the credit period is that on an ongoing basis or on a daily basis in Tally, you can see the outstanding report. For example, if I want to know as on today how many bills are pending, or as on today how many bills I'm supposed to receive. At the same time, I can also view how many what is my outstanding and what is my commitment today. Now, this report also gives you the all those bills which are overdue, which means which are outstanding over and above the credit limit that you have allowed to the customer. So that is one report. So that is one aspect of it. The second aspect of it is that like sometimes you will have a lot of transactions with your customers. Okay, now whatever I'm talking for the customer, you can very clearly relate it to the vendor also. Whatever we can do at the customer level, we can do it at a vendor. So whatever you are doing at the vendor level, that is basically your self discipline or self self control that you are bringing in your organization. So the second aspect is that you want to set a credit limit. Like you don't want to keep on selling to this person every time. And again, collection is going to become a problem. So again, you can determine what is the credit limit that you want to have. For example, let us say that you want to set up a credit limit for your customer, say about 5 lakh rupees. So which means over and above the 5 lakh rupees, if any amount is outstanding, that amount, additional billing should not be done. So the system should take care, and system should literally, stop you from doing additional invoice if the outstanding is exceeding 5 lakh rupees, or if the outstanding is up to 5 lakh rupees and you can't do a new billing. So that is second aspect of it. So these are the things, very important aspect that we will be seeing. How do we now see this in the software? So let me just start with demonstrating on how do we see this information, and how easy, how simple it is for you to set up and navigate and get the information, so that you are on top of your business operations. And the best part is that technology allows you to take informed decision, right? So this is where, and the speed at which you can get the information, again, that's another advantage of using a technology. So first, let me start with the reports, where I go into balance sheet. And now in the balance sheet, I'm looking into current asset, and I go into current asset. Now I see my sundry debtors. So when I come here, I can just press select my sundry debtors group, and now this is the list of sundry debtors that is there, and where the bills are pending. So now these are the amounts. So 19 lakh 27,932 is the total amount pending. Out of this amount that is pending, you are inquisitive to know that how many invoices are uh, not yet due, how many invoices are going to be due as on. So for example, if you see on the right hand side, you see the report. So it is as on 20th of July. So as on 20th of July, this is the amount outstanding. Now you need to know that how many, what is the amount of bill that is, even though my book was showing outstanding, am I supposed to receive this as on today? Or how many invoices that have been overdue, which I was supposed to receive today, or maybe at an earlier date, but then it is still not been paid by my customer. So how easy and simple is it to get me this report? Very simple. So all I need to do is, I'm going to press F8, right? And here there is an option says show me Billwise detail. So I'm going to enter here, and now it is going to give me my pending bills detail, right? So the moment I go into pending bill detail, then I look into my Billwise detail, click onto my Billwise detail, and you will notice here all the parties bill. It is going to give you the information, what is the date of your invoice, your reference number, the party which is there, and what is the opening amount. And if the party is cleared part amount, it is going to consider that, and it is going to tell you what is the pending amount. And if you see some of these amount, most of them are in bold. So that's an indication which says that this is the amount which is outstanding, which are overdue. The next question is how many days it is overdue. So if you see here on the right hand side, Tally is going to tell you that by how many days it is overdue. How does it now compute the overdue days? Very simple. So it takes the due date into account. It takes the due date into account, and it considers your reporting date. So reporting date minus the due date is going to be the overdue day. So you will notice here that so many bills are overdue. You are not able to you have still not received this amount. Then here, if you see here, these parties, that is from Priya Industries onwards, right? So you have bills which are, you have raised the invoice, but they are due, but they are not due as on date. So as on today, 20th July, so none of these bills are due, except that the last one is going to be, earliest due is going to be 4th of August, right? So this way you can actually see the details. And if you want to see party wise, so this is giving you a consolidated information. Like this could be one invoice, or it could be multiple invoice. So how do you quickly see each party multiple invoice? So I have this button on the right hand side. I'll say I want party wise bill wise detail, and now it is going to give you each party wise what is the bill detail, what is the amount outstanding, and by how many days it is overdue. In this example, if you see the first party, the Forefront Electronics that we saw earlier, which gave a total amount of 3,57,000, it constitutes two bills. right? So these are the two invoices. One was supposed to be paid on 25th of May, which is now, as on today, it is 56 days overdue. And the other was supposed to pay on 6th of July. And again, this is overdue, right? So this is how, you get this information, and you see this in and if you want to see, if you want to have an age-wise analysis also, if you want to have age-wise analysis also, you can do the age-wise. So here again, there is a button here. So do you want to see age-wise? Definitely, I want to see age-wise based on the due date. So now you can specify your age period. So if you want to see 0 to 15 days, how many bills are overdue or how many bills are pending, so you can do that. Or I can simply say 0 to 30, 30 to 60, 60 to 90, and 90 and above. So now I enter here. So Billwise, again, it is going to give you the pending amount which are due less than 30 days based on the the aging period that you have specified. So this is how you get this information. Now the question is, you get this result, but then what is required for you to set up in your software for you to get this information? One is that, yes, I mean, like, let me just take this example of one sec. Let me just take Sagar Computers, Tamil Nadu. Control. Okay, for me to just check my master configuration and all those things, people are using Tally. You would definitely know that there is this shortcut key which is Control Enter. Control Enter is basically going to take me into my master alteration screen. Now here, if you see, by default, like I said, the moment you enable Billwise Detail, by default, all the ledgers under your sundry debtors and your sundry creditors will get enabled for Billwise Detail. And this is where now you can specify the default credit period. So you will set up 7 days, 15 days, 30 days, depending on the client and whatever is your whatever is the whatever you have done, whatever is the combination that you have applied for your credit periodicity, I mean, is what you are going to bring in here, right? So the another option, very nice option that we have, is that, for example, let us say I am going to raise an invoice. Now in this case, this person's credit limit I have set is 75,000. So I will come to that little later. Now let us say that I have made an invoice to this particular customer, uh, 25,000, 25,000, two invoices I have made, right? And say that, as on today. So today, when I say, it is on 20th of July, 2020, as per this company's books of account. So as on today, both the invoices are overdue, right? So now only 50,000 invoice value that I have given to him, which is outstanding. So I have set a credit limit. So what is my credit limit I have set here? I am now specifying a credit limit saying that I should not give any more invoices if the value of the outstanding amount is up to 75,000 rupees. So only up to 75,000 rupees I will bill. Once the amount is cleared, then you can do the additional billing. So 75,000 is the credit limit that I have set up. So now what happens when I'm doing that? Let's say I'm going to do another invoice for 10,000 rupees. Now, if I'm going to do another invoice for 10,000 rupees, Tally is going to allow me because it is within the credit limit, right? But then by enabling this option, the moment you select this particular party, for when you're doing invoicing, the moment you select this particular party, Tally will give you a warning saying that, hey, look, there are two invoices which is outstanding from this party, which is overdue. See, that way, I will demonstrate that and show it to you. So that will be much better. So that is one aspect. Then you have this credit limit that you can set up. And people who are using Tally, you must have noticed that by default, Tally in no uh, input screen, okay, whether in the master screen or in your voucher entry screen, okay, Tally will never stop the user from moving forward, right? So basically it will give you a warning if there is a negative cash or if there is a negative stock, and if there is a negative ledger, if you have not selected your tax ledger, it is going to give you the warning. But Tally will never stop any of your activity, right? It allows, because the whole premise in which the Tally software is built is that Tally is just a tool. As a businessman, you know your business, so you know better. I mean, with that logic, Tally, no screen stops. But this is the only place where Tally is going to basically stop the user from moving forward if you are trying to invoice a particular party, where the amount, if it exceeds the credit limit that you have specified. In that case, it will never allow you to save that particular invoice. Let me give an example. Now, I said that there are two invoices to this customer which is pending, 25,000 and 25,000. Now, I still have 25,000 limit which I can invoice to him. But so I now make an invoice, but then the invoice value becomes 40,000 rupees. Now, when the invoice value becomes 40,000 rupees, I cannot complete this transaction because it is exceeding my credit limit, even though the two invoices are overdue. That's a different aspect. We will discuss that later. But here, Tally is not going to allow you until and unless a person who's got the administrator security level where he can go and modify the master, then the person should come here and then modify the credit limit for you to go ahead. Now that call you are taking, conscious call the user is taking, right? Otherwise, this is where the system is going to bring control to you so that you know that you are exceeding the limit. That is where you can set up this limit aspect of it. Now, so let me first come to the outstanding statement. So F9. Let me come to bills receivable. Right, I am coming to bills receivable, and first let me just take one party. Priya. Let me take Priya Industries. All right. So Priya Industries, you will see that there is one invoice, 49,560. Let us see what is the credit limit that we have specified. So the credit limit that we have specified for Priya is 50,000 rupees, right? And there is already one invoice pending, which is 49,560, which means literally there is no the limit. It is, I mean, like very less amount is there in the credit limit. So if I'm trying to do an invoice for Priya Industries, what happens? Let us see. Or can I take this Sangam? Let me just see if I can show both the thing. 30 default is 4 lakh 321. Okay, let's do a invoicing for Sangam. So Sangam, if you see, 4 lakh is the credit limit which we have set up, and already an outstanding of 3,21,378 is pending. And if you come to the Billwise Detail, right, so you will see Sangam Computers, right? Both the invoices are overdue, right? One was supposed to be paid on 5th of May, other one was supposed to be paid on 13th of July. So here, now we have done two settings, right? So we have said that, right, whenever I am doing an invoice, if any bill is overdue, you are asking Tally to intimate you, number one. Number two is you have already set a credit limit, which means your bill should not be made if the outstanding is, if it is reaching 4 lakh rupees, right? So these two things we will see how Tally is going to take care. So I will come to voucher entry. I'm going to come to sales invoice, and I'll pass the entry as on 20th of July. So I'll take the partner, the party as Sangam accessories. See, the moment I select this party Sangam accessories, you will see on the right hand side, Tally is going to tell you there are two bills which are outstanding, which is exceeding the due date, right? So now you can, like pick up a phone, speak to the particular respective stakeholder or a person, and then you tell them, see, look, already two invoices are overdue, right? So when are you going to, so you can get a commitment from that person, right? Now, for example, let us say the person says that, okay, sir, I know it is overdue, but can you please, give me this consignment? I will give you a post-dated check. So what is the date today? Today, I mean, the current date is 20th of July. Let us say he is giving you a post-dated check, which is 30th of July, right? So now he clears, and you will also see here that what is the amount which is due, and you will also see the credit limit that you have specified, so that you don't have to go to the master every time to see the credit limit. Now by looking the before even you making the invoice, by looking here, you very clearly know that, out of 4 lakh rupees, 321 is outstanding, which means literally about 72,000 rupees is what you can bill him to come up to this limit. Now, but the consignment that is asking now is coming to close to about 1 lakh rupee, which means it is going to cross the credit limit. But what is mentioned is that, he has told you that, he will give you a post-dated check, right? So he's going to give you a post-dated check on 25th of July, right? So let's assume that, you have received the post-dated check also, or the person comes to your office, he says, my boss told that, you take this post-dated check, and he wants one more invoice, which is going to be for 1 lakh rupees, one more consignment. So you speak to him, and you accept the check. So now you make an entry. So you make an entry. Tally allows you an option where you can enter a post-dated check. So which means the current date as per the current financial year in this company is 20. Let us assume that we are today on 20th of July. So today the current date is 20th of July 2020, right? But then he's given you a post-dated check, which is say 6 days or 5 days in advance. Now you can't go and make an entry in your company for the the 6 days in advance, right? So Tally again has a feature where you can capture that as a post-dated check. Now what happens? As on today, the limit is only 4 lakh, okay? But he's given you a post-dated check, and this party is a genuine party. He's not going to dishonor the check, and you have confidence. That is why you want to make an invoice, right? So now let me do that. So you have already received the post-dated check from him. So you are now going to sell some item. Okay, something I'll just take. So let me just select one more item. Okay, so now this is the 2 items that I'm going to supply to that customer, right? So I can select my thing. I can select my tax ledger also. I can come here, and then I can select my tax ledger. So CGST. Once you configure in Tally, or Tally will automatically calculate the tax also. The GST also it will automatically calculate. Okay. So now first the warning it gave you saying that 2 bills are overdue. Now let us see what happens now. So now I come here, and then when I come here, Tally is telling you that there is a credit limit. Your credit limit is only up to 4 lakh. Already 321 is pending. The new invoice that you're going to do is crossing the credit limit. So Tally says, I cannot allow you to save this entry and take a printout of your tax invoice. Okay. So whatever you do, again it will go back there. You come to the end and you try to save, nothing is going to happen. This is the only place in Tally where it will never allow you to move forward, because it is going by the credit limit that you have already specified. Now the problem is, okay, I have already specified the credit limit, right? But then he's already given me my given me a post-dated check. So I'm going to enter post-dated check. Okay, so I'm going to how am I going to enter? So I'm going to come to voucher entry, then I'm going to come to F6 receipt, and I'm going to change the date because it is given me on 25th of July, right? because he is given on 25th of July, it is a future date. So there is an option in Tally where it says I can, you see on the right hand side button bar, it says post dated. I can mark this entry as a post dated check and I can receive this payment. So once I receive this money, then what happens? Tally is taking care of it. But then since it is a future date entry, when I'm doing a current date entry, it is not going to consider the future date, because until and unless your current date reaches 25th of July, that value will not impact your books of account. That's the functionality of the post-dated transaction. But then how do you handle this situation? He's already given me money and now I have to raise, but then I don't want to tamper with my credit limit. So there is another very nice option where you can see that, okay, Sangam accessories, right? So another option which is there where it says that use post-dated transaction. So there is one option here. So when I make this as yes, right? When I make this post-dated transaction as yes, then what Tally is going to look for, is there any post-dated transaction for this party where the money is received? So I've already entered a post-dated transaction on 25th. So if I don't set up this option, if I don't set up this option as yes, it will not go and look for any post-dated transaction. If you set it up as yes, the moment you do an invoice, if it is exceeding credit limit, it will go and look if there is any amount that is received on the post-dated date. It will take that amount. It will see what is the due. It will reduce from your current credit limit. And if the balance invoice that you are going to do is within the credit limit, it will allow you to pass even though you have a post-dated transaction. So these are three very nice feature that you should start leveraging this. One is that set up the credit default period. Next is set up the credit limit, right? And also check for overdue bills while you are invoicing, so that it is just a reminder to you saying that already there are some bills which are overdue. You are making an invoice now, be careful. And also if you are having a situation like this, you can enable this, right? So this is how you manage your receivable payable. And how I can see those receivable payable, we have already seen this. So there is another way where I can go and see my uh, bills receivable. When I go into my bills receivable, it is now going to give me the list of all those invoices which are pending. And if you see here, suddenly you are seeing something called salary advance employee. Then you are seeing in the reference, it is saying vehicle loan, festival loan. What is this, right? So for example, let us say one is that this is very simple, very easy and very clear, that the receivable payable of your sundry debtors and creditors, you can manage your normal Billwise detail, right? But what happens in case you have taken a loan from bank, you have taken a term loan where you have to pay a monthly EMI, right? Or you have taken some kind of a loan which you might have to pay back in one or two installments. So how do you track that is one question. The second aspect is that in some companies you have this facility of providing advances to your employees, right? So for example, let us say in your company you have two or three types of advances as a company policy for your employee. One could be some emergency loan, one could be a festival loan, and one could be some vehicle loan or whatever. So let's assume that you have three or four types of loan which the employee can avail. Now generally what happens, if he's taking three or four loans, then probably the first intuition that you get is that, okay, I have to create employee one festival loan, employee one vehicle loan, employee one education loan. Now you don't have to keep creating multiple ledger to track it, number one. Number two is that if your employees are say 5, 10, then it is okay for you to manage 15, 20 ledgers. So which means literally you will have one ledger for an employee for one nature or type of loan. What happens, you have an employee, say about you have about 100 employees or more than 100 employees, in that case, it is going to be a mess for you to manage this whole thing. Okay, so these are the two examples. One is my loan outstanding. I want to track month on month. I will also tell you why you need to do this, because by doing this, you will get a proper cash flow management. That is what will help you to get a proper cash flow management, which is what I'm going to show you a little later. Right. So now what happens here is that I want to now track all my monthly due, all my monthly commitments that I have to do apart from my sundry creditors, right? And also there are monthly receivables which are there, which I need to track. For example, the advances that I pay to my employee. So I need to know that, okay, this month, how much of amount I have to deduct for what type of advance. Maybe it could be towards festival advance, it could be towards emergency loan or whatever it is, right? So how do I manage this? So now you have, again in Tally, if you see, you have a beautiful feature in Tally. One is basically your Billwise Detail, what we are, the normal sundry debtors, creditors, which is your current liability and current asset is what is taken care to your sundry creditors and debtors. Then you also have another option in Tally which talks about non-trading account Billwise Detail. Now this is where the moment you enable this, you can set up a Billwise Detail for all your loan account which you are specifying under loans. Also, you can specify all your advances. That I'm giving you two examples, but you can now apply this logic for many aspects depending on the need for your organization. So by doing this, what is going to happen? I'll just show you. Now let me come to my balance sheet again. And if you see here on my loan liability, I go inside, I have a secured loan. So I can press Alt F1 to see my detail. And you see here, I have two loans. Okay. One is my Citibank vehicle loan. My company is taken, right? So which is a 1 lakh rupee. Then I also have a term loan, uh, which is 4.5 lakh rupees. Now my monthly, there is a monthly EMI that I'm supposed to pay on a specified day. So I need to now track and find out, okay, on when is this liability going to fall, so that I can see in my report. Okay, so how do I set up now when I'm creating this master? So how now I'm going to the alteration of the master, control enter. When I'm creating the master, it will now, this option, see, now I am creating this master under secured loans, right? If you don't enable non-trading Billwise Detail, okay, this option will never appear, because we have said non-trading option in the feature in Tally. It will now ask you, do you want to maintain Billwise Detail? You say yes, I want to maintain Billwise Detail. So the moment you say that I want to maintain Billwise Detail, what happens is that you see in my in this particular transaction, when I've taken a loan, so I've taken a loan, I'm passing a JV. So when I'm passing a JV, I'm debiting my asset and I'm crediting my loan. In this case, let us assume that I've taken 100% loan the bank has given me. So this is the cost. Okay. Now what happens? Now I am supposed to pay this in 5 installments. Okay. So now by doing this, what I can do is that you will see here. Let me just quickly show you here. When I come here and when I enter, I can say new reference and I can split my outstanding based on my due, based on my EMI. And this, by doing this, the advantage is that you will exactly know month on month your total cash outflow and your total cash inflow. Okay. Apart from your debtors and creditors. Debtors, creditors, Billwise Detail is going to take care of it. Okay. So now I'm going to specify here installment 1 of 5, which is due on 1st of May. 20,000 rupees. So up to 1 lakh rupees, I'm going to now split my invoice and I'm going to set a reference so that this reference is a user defined reference. The user can type whatever the user wants. So in this case, for me, I'm typing installment number 1 out of 5. I am also know that, what is my total installment. Okay, so I know that there are 5 installments that I'm supposed to do. So 1 of 5, 2 of 5, and automatically if I enter the date, it is going to take that into account. So this is how I capture this information so that I know that month on month what is the 20,000 rupees, on what date it is my commitment. So this is one. The second again is again the term loan, the same concept, right? So this has got an opening balance of the term loan. So in the term loan also, basically I have set up that I want to maintain Billwise Detail. But then what happens is that, since it is the opening balance, there is an option in Tally where you can, specify the opening balance, and you can break up the amount outstanding in the opening balance also. It is not that only when you pass a new transaction you can do it. If there is any old outstanding which you are bringing in the beginning of the financial year, and if you want to track this, you can do this in the master creation when you are entering the opening balance, where you are specifying your Billwise detail. This is where, like the Citibank loan, I am also capturing this loan where I'm supposed to pay this equipment loan in this installment, and I'm capturing the amount, I'm capturing the due date also. So now I know that first of May every month, my 10,000 rupees on my scooter purchase is due. 15th of every month, 1 lakh rupees I have to manage, because I have to now pay to the bankers, right? So that I don't get default and it is not going to impact my credit rating. So these are the two aspects of it from the loan side. Now we will come to the advances side. How do we handle the advances part? So I come to current asset, right? So under my current asset, I have created a group called salary advance. So under salary advance, if you see, I've just got one employee I've created. Now, if this employee has taken all 4 types of loan, I don't have to create 4 ledger. I will manage through my Billwise detail, right? Where I will exactly know how much of money is outstanding. So here in this case, again, what I'm going to do, I'm going to say, because it is under current asset and I've created a new group, it will ask me for my Billwise detail. I'm going to set up, I want the Billwise detail, and let's see how this transaction is captured. Now there are 2 transactions, right? On 1st of April, he's taken 25,000 rupees loan. Some advance is taken. Then there is another advance is taken, which he is eligible for. He's taken another advance, which is 10,000 rupees. So let's just see here, and I'm not going to go inside. So you now understood the logic. So here again, 25,000 rupees is taken, right? And he is supposed to pay back in 5 installments. So I've captured, and what type of loan he's taken. This is a vehicle loan, so that I know towards which advance I am trying to now recollect the money. So this is that 5 installment I've given. Then I have this 5 monthly breakup I have given, and I've captured this. So this way I'm going to get on a monthly basis. So every month, 30th of April, I know that 5,000 rupees I'm going to receive, or I'm going to deduct from my from the salary of the employee. He's not going to pay you, but normally when you pay salary, you're going to deduct that amount. So this way, then similarly, the second transaction you will see, he's taken a festival loan of 10,000 rupees, which is supposed to pay back in 10 installments. So again, I've broken up that into 10 installments so that I know month on month how much of money needs to be tracked for. Okay, so by doing this, this is where you saw in case of my sundry, in case of my Billwise. Let me come to the normal reporting. So I can see my outstanding. I can come to my display. I can come to my statement of account. There is this option called outstanding. Then I will go to my receivables. Okay, so now I can say, I can break up and then see individually each one. Like if I want to see only salary advance, I can see my salary advance, right? So all those things, right? So now I'll say, if I say salary advance, so the entire only salary advances will get listed here. So it also says vehicle loan, okay, 5 installment is there, festival loan 10 installment is there, and already you will notice that the 3 installment is overdue. And in case of festival loan, again this 3 installment is overdue. It is not recovered from the employee, right? So this is another way that you can do it. So by doing this, what is that we are going to gain, right? So by doing this, by breaking up your receivable and other thing, you can now generate a cash projection. So how do you generate a cash projection? And you don't have to do any additional configuration. All you need to do is just go to that report. So how do I go to the report? So from the gateway of Tally, I go to display, and here there is an option uh, where you will see this option saying cash and fund flow. So you just enter cash and fund flow, and here you have this cash projection. See, cash flow, fund flow is the normal thing which you can see. Like you go to cash flow, it is going to tell you month on month, okay, what is their net inflow or outflow. the most important thing and the most interesting aspect and the most critical information that you should be looking for is something which is the cash projection. So which means based on your amount which is due, right? Billwise detail, you already said how much of bill it has to come at any given point in time. So similarly, your loans that you are supposed to pay, you have already taken, you have already broken up into installment basis. The other money that you are going to receive by way of advance or through some of your sister concern which you have given, and you must have given some money or as a loan which you have to receive it. All that, if you are able to manage through the Billwise detail, by click of a button, Tally is going to tell you exactly what is your position, right? It says that, for example, if you see here, by default, it tells you. Now here it says, in the month of August, you are going to land up with 1,18,000 rupees negative balance, right? So what decision that you need to take, how are you going to manage? Because once you manage for August, then September month you are going to get some more money based on your invoicing that you have done, based on the due date and all your outstanding which is there, and from there on it says seems to be okay, right? So this is where it helps you. Now if I can go into detail, sorry, I'm already the detail. I can go into detail if you want to see each and every thing, like when it is going to come and all those things. If I just go inside here, it is also going to tell me. See, for example, we have also said that salary advance I'm supposed to receive, July I'm supposed to receive, August I'm supposed to receive, all these things I'm supposed to receive. So it also tells me July, August. It gives me clear visibility of month on month what are the amount that I'm going to receive. Like in this case, you will see now from your customer how is your money going to come. So bulk of your money is going to come from the month of September, right? So this is on the receivable part, and when you come here, you can go into your payable part, right? Again, you can see here that I mean, like all those things, like term loan we saw that you are supposed to pay August 1 lakh, September we have seen that, right? And then you have Citibank loan, again it is saying that 2020 you are supposed to pay, and these are the money that you are supposed to pay. So bulk of your salary creditors money that you have to now, your commitment is there in the month of July, right? So this is how you manage your cash flow. The next question that will come to your mind. Okay, so here in case of my receivable payable, I'm managing through Billwise detail, and my loans also, now I've seen that how I can manage it through enabling the non-trading Billwise detail. But then there are my other commitments, because this is not going to give me a true picture, right, of my cash projection. So what are my other commitments? There could be some recurring expenses for me, like my rent, right, my salaries, various other things which are recurring in nature, which I need to pay month on month, right? So how am I going to bring this? Because those expenses are future expenses, right? So this is expenses. These are the transactions that we have captured. Even though the amount is due in the future, I have captured that information in case of my Billwise detail. But how am I going to capture my expenses? Because I can't enter now, and I can't enter as a post-dated transaction, right? So what Tally also allows you to capture all your committed recurring expenses as a provisional entry. So how do you enter that as a provisional entry? Very simple. You come to, I'll just show you display exceptional report, right? So I have optional vouchers, right? So I have April to March 21, right? So I've just taken three simple example for you to, for me to just demonstrate and show you that how you can, pass this transaction. Like for example, I've taken a simple example for the month of July. On 31st, I'm supposed to pay salary of 50,000 rupees. So I'm making a payment entry. I'm putting this entry, but then what I'm doing, I'm not entering this as post-dated entry, right? Because I'm capturing this as a optional entry, which means I'm making a provisional entry which should not impact my books of account. So there is an option again here where Tally can, you can save this voucher as an optional voucher, right? So this way I've taken July and August salary, I've just taken as an example. Then I've also taken September month salary, September month rent. July, August also you should account for, but I'm just giving an example. So like this, what you can do is that every payment that is a committed payment, which is on a recurring basis that you have to incur, you can pass these entries as an optional transaction, and once on the due date you can convert this into a regular voucher also, right? Then it becomes as a normal or the actual entry which will come in your cash flow projection report also. So by doing this, what is going to happen? This is what we are seeing in the cash flow projections. We are seeing that okay, by default it is not going to bring all your provisional entries, right? So what am I supposed to do? Now we have this F12 configuration where there is an option which where you want to include, do you want to include any provisional entry? This is my scenario, I'm creating a scenario, right? So you say yes, I need those provisional entries for me to get the proper cash outflow, and also include all the overdue bill which which I'm supposed to collect, I have not collected. So now I say yes, and you will notice here now it is also bringing all your overdue bills, where overdue bills is something where you have to put additional effort to receive that money, because in the normal course the customer is not paid, is not kept up to the commitment, right? So now when we come to payable, you will see that see these entries that we passed just now, I showed you salary of 50,000 rupees is already, it's also come into account, so that I know what is my correct cash flow. Then salary also has come here, so that I know the salary for July and August, which I showed you the voucher. Then rent for September, which I showed you, is also coming here. So this way, now it gives you 100% proper projection, because you are taking all those elements which has got an impact of your inflow and the outflow till the end of the financial year. So basically Tally is going to project till the end of the financial year. And every month when you actually start passing the actual transaction, it is going to start capturing the actual transaction, and your projections are going to remain for the upcoming months, which is the future dates. All those things are going to come. So these are the two very important aspects of your first pillar, that how do you manage your cash flow. That is very, very important. So one is that managing your receivable payable, and the other one is basically, like the other aspects of your committed inflow outflow can also be captured in your system, and have a better cash flow projections, right? So this is about the first pillar of Tally. Let's just take a quick 2 minutes break, and then I'll just give you the second pillar of uh, the business second pillar. Let me just. So welcome back. Now we'll see the second pillar of your business. So which is again is very critical, which is the inventory management. So how do you manage inventory? So couple of questions which very critical for you to ask yourself is that uh, what product is giving me a better margin, or how long have I been holding these products, and what are fast moving? Do I get an idea? Do I get an inclination of what are fast moving items, what are slow moving items, what are non moving items, right? So these kind of information, once you set up your inventory masters properly, you will again get all this information by click of a button. So the first question is that let's say that I want to know what are my fast moving stocks, what are my slow moving stocks, or what are my non moving stocks. So I just want to see. So by click of a button, we will get these information. So first, let us see the fast moving, slow moving, or the non moving item. How do I see my fast, slow, or non moving item? So there is a report where I come to display, right? So display, then I go to my inventory book, right? And in my inventory book, I have this report called movement analysis. So I'm going to just click here, and it is now going to ask me my stock group analysis, category, item, or anything, right? So I just select stock group analysis, and I want to analyze the movement of all my stock and see which one is moving fast, which one is moving uh, 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 basically, I can see this inward outward movement is one aspect of it. The second one, I can also see the age-wise analysis. First, let me show you the age-wise analysis. So you come to age-wise analysis here, and you select all item. Now here you will notice, right? So what are the items that from the date of your purchase as on today, as on the 20th of July, what are the items that you are holding as stock in your company, which is less than 45 days, 45 to 90 days, 90 and 180 days. So similarly, like the way I showed how you can configure the age-wise periodicity in the Billwise detail, you can also do this in case of your inventory age-wise analysis periodicity also. So how do you do that? Again, you have on the right hand side, you have this button which says age-wise styling. So you can say that what is that age-wise that you want to do from the date of purchase, and this expiry date, manufacturing date to be expired is basically when you enable your, there is a feature in Tally which also where you can manage your inventory based on manufacturing date and expiry date, especially your pharmaceutical products or perishable products which have the expiry date. So you can do that, and you can get those reports also. So the best part is that you can also see what are the products that are going to expire in future. So once you enable that, capturing the manufacturing expiry date. But in this case, what I want to do is I want to do the aging period. So here I've given 0 to 45, 45 to 90. Maybe I want to say 90 to 120, 120 and above, right? So again, it is going to give you this value. So basically, if you see, most of the items are, you are holding it for more than 90 days, right? So 90 to 120, because beyond 120 days there is nothing. So literally, I mean, like, all the majority of your stock that you're holding is beyond 90 days. So this gives you an information as to what kind of business decision that you need to take to manage your stock better. So this is one report which is basically your aging analysis report, which is going to give you based on your purchase date. Okay. The next one is, well, let's come to the stock summary. So I come to gateway of Tally. Then there is this button option menu where I say stock summary. And this is going to give me my inventory stock, closing stock as on date. Okay. And I have grouped all my item in this particular 5 different groups. So that's how it is showing. If I want to see the detail, all I need to do is just Alt F1. I press Alt F1, which is on the right hand side button, and it is going to tell me all the item under each of the group. Like in the keyboard, I have these item. In laptop, in fact, in laptop, I have sub group also. I have Dell laptops, I have HP laptops, I have LG laptops, all those things. So I can see this group wise, or if I want to know, basically, I just want to know what is my intent here. My intent here is that I want to know which item is giving me better margin. So instead of seeing this as a group wise, I can also come here and I can say I want to see item wise. So I press F5 or item wise, click the mouse here. It is now going to give you all your items that you are holding in your stock, okay, which is your closing stock, and it gives you a closing stock value. Now, like I said, I want to know which item is more profitable. So very simple. See, on the right hand side, there is a button which says show profit. Just click here. It is going to now tell you each item, what is the GP that you are making, okay, on each item. Like for example, the first item is big city pen drive 16 GB. My GP is 13%, right? So you come down here, my HP keyboard and mouse combo In fact, I mean, like, I'm having a loss of 0.59% gross loss because I'm not able to sell uh, that at a better price, maybe whatever reason. So this is where, I can see, each item I can see. Now this particular item, you see HP pen drive H8 GB, it is giving me 27% GP, which is good, right? So one, I can see all this. If you want to not see all those items, then it is very simple. Come to stock summary, right? Get into your item. You can just press enter. Now these are your laptops, right? So you just press show profit. It is now going to tell you your profitability of your laptop also. So okay, so it says, on an average you are getting about 12.626, 12.7, 12.8 is the average GP that you are making. Right now you want to see other company laptop also, don't worry. So you don't have to again press escape and do all those things. There is one button here. Basically it says what other group you want to see. Now I say Dell laptop I've seen. I want to see HP laptop. Okay, in HP laptop, I have one item where I get only 5% margin, another item I get 13% margin. So this way, if you see, you will see that item wise. Okay, so I can again I select. If I select primary, it is going to give me all my items. So this way you will see that some item I am making a decent margin, some item good margin, some item low margin, some item I am not making any margin. Okay, so this gives me an idea of uh, what item to stock. So I mean, like, as a businessman, you know better that, what can you do, what kind of decision that you would want to take based on this report or the information that you are viewing now. Okay, so this is one aspect. The second thing is that I want to know, right? Because there are varying profit margin that I'm having. So generally a customer is going to come and buy combination of all those things, right? So he might, if he's buying a laptop, maybe he wants to buy a pen drive, he wants to buy an additional keyboard, mouse, so many things. Maybe he wants an external hard disk. So many things are there, right? So the next thing that I want to know is that okay, now I know that this is the varying GP that I'm getting, but I want to know, do I make a profit? Did I make profit? Not do. Did I make a profit on this particular sales invoice? Right? So how do I know? Because in that particular sales invoice, I will be having item which is different item. We just now saw different item has got different profit margin. But overall, what is the profit margin that I made in this sale? So first report just now we saw is for each item what is the GP. The next report I'm going to show you where you will see that in each invoice what is the percentage of GP that you have made for each invoice. So how do I see that? Very simple. I come to display, then I going to go into my accounts book, and then I have my sales register. I go into my sales register and it gives me my monthly register. I can go to a particular month. I can go to the month of April. Now in the month of April I have 4 sales invoice made. So I want to see what is the profit that I have made on each invoice. Right? Okay, so again you see on the right hand side there is a button where I just say F7, and now this percentage that you are seeing is for each invoice. So your first invoice, your first sales invoice, you made 12.95%. In your second sales invoice, you made 13.04, and in your fourth sales invoice, you made only 8.31% GP. Because in this case, it is actually two different companies' laptop you have sold, right? So there could be something where there could be multiple items. See here, you have seen there are multiple items that has been purchased with different things. So now you will get an average GP that you are making out of each invoice also, right? So this is the third one. So the first one we saw the longevity of the stock that you are holding, because all of us know that the more number of days you hold your stock, that much of your working capital is going to get blocked. So the earlier you have inventory turnover, or the better the inventory turnover is, the better is your working capital, and also better is going to be your cash flow management, right? So one we saw fast moving slow moving, non-moving item we saw. The second we saw that what is the GP that I'm earning on each of my product that I'm stocking. The third one that we saw now is that I want to see in every invoice what is the GP that I've made. So in any invoice I've made a GP which is in the negative, then it is going to be a serious problem, right? So these three aspects that we have seen. The next one that we are going to see is that how much of these item that I need to stock. We saw that majority of our stock that we are holding is more than 90 days, right? So how do I avoid this situation, or how do I manage my inventory better, right? So for you to manage this inventory better, you have something where Tally again has a another feature, a very nice feature, which is basically your purchase order and sale order. So again, in the F11 feature, if you see as part of your inventory feature, you have this purchase order and sale order. So once you enable this purchase order and sale order, you can now start, tracking your material in a much better way. So how does this help? Like one is that whatever is the commitment that you have given to your customer, you are supposed to supply items on specified dates to various customer, right? So if it is one or two orders, then it is very easy for us to remember that, and trust our memory. And majority of the case, that it is going to be very difficult to trust your memory when you have too many commitments which are there, which flows multiple commitments in a single day, or on a multiple dates commitments are there. How do you manage? Now in your organization, you might not have a process of managing, or formally having a purchase order system or a sales order system, but for managing the inventory in a better way, irrespective of what your organization processes or practices, if you can enable this purchase order and sale order. So what are you going to do? Very simple. Whenever you're going to call your supplier and asking for the material, probably sometimes what happens is that you would have ordered over the phone, saying that, okay, I want say 100 numbers of this particular external hard disk, but maybe because of the price thing or whatever it is. So now what you tell him, that okay, do one thing, I will place 100 numbers of order, right? But you supply 25, 25, 25 every month. So now I need to track, out of my 100, did I receive on a month 25 pieces? Like this, probably you can have multiple orders. So all you need to do is, whatever you do in a non system, like orally that you're doing, just start capturing that as part of your purchase order. You might not issue, or you don't want to issue the purchase order to your supplier, doesn't matter. Just keep capturing this information. I will show you by doing this what advantage that you're going to get. So this is one aspect of it. So, okay. So whatever orders are there, capture it as a purchase order. If you're capturing that as a purchase order, the advantage is, like we saw the outstanding report, the receivable report that we saw, that as on today, how many bills are pending. Similarly, the same concept is used in the purchase order also, where there is a report in Tally where you can come and see, for example, if I've captured all this as purchase orders, I can come and see what are the orders that are pending. So how do I see my pending orders? I come to, again, from the gateway of Tally, my cursor is already there on display. I go to display, then I come to statement of inventory, enter, and then you see here purchase order outstanding. So I can go here, then here there are, the menu gives you a multiple uh, variations in which you can view the outstanding report. You can view stock group wise, stock item wise, accounting group wise, ledger wise. Ledger wise is what? From this particular party, like ABC and company, you have placed an order. So multiple items you have placed an order. Now you want to know what are all the items that are pending, what are all the items that is overdue from this particular party. You can see that. For example, I can go to the ledger and I can select any one of the party to whom I have raised an uh, purchase order. So here I have not raised any purchase order. So basically, let's see the all orders. I just want to see all the orders that are pending. So which means, to whomever I've raised the order, as on today, what are the orders that are pending. So here I will know what are all the orders that I have raised. Like for example, you see here that these are my orders that are pending as on today. And it will also tell you what is the due date of the order. You'll see on the extreme right of the report, you will have due date. And in case if it is overdue compared to as on today, it is also going to tell you by how many days it is overdue. And if there are any partial delivery happened, it is still going to tell you, is there any outstanding or balance orders which are pending. For example, if you come here, you see the second one. The second one, I have ordered two numbers, right, of Lenovo keyboard, but one number is already supplied by him, but one more is still pending, right? So this way, I can now see what are the orders that I'm supposed to receive and what are the orders which I have already placed, which are overdue, which I was supposed to receive on a specified date. So this helps you in managing your purchase order. Similarly, whatever commitment that you give to your customer, right? So you don't have to formally issue a sale order to your customer, but you can again start capturing those sales order, and similar kind of a report you can see as on today. So which means basically, if you want to see today to which are all customer you are supposed to deliver material and what kind of, I mean, how much of invoicing that you need to do. So you can come here and then, see the report. Like if I've already enabled the sale order, I've already captured all my commitment into my sales order. And once you have done this, if you have seen this purchase order, again, there is a button here on the right hand side. Okay, basically where it says, I want to see my sale order. I just click on sales. Now it is going to give me my list of all my sales order, right? So similarly, you will again see when are you supposed to, when was it due? When were you supposed to? Let's see the first one. If you see the first one, where the cursor is there, you will see I have raised the sale order on 5th of April, but I was supposed to supply this person on 12th of April, right? I have supplied one, there are two orders, two numbers were there. I have supplied one number, but one is still pending. And it is almost 99 days I have not supplied. And just imagine, no customer is going to wait for 90 days for getting one keyboard from you or a laptop or anything, any item from you. So again, with this pandemic and with this, difficulty that we have, it is very important that we have to make sure that, we keep up to the commitment, because, any delay in our committed supply to my customer, if the customer is not happy, we might lose that customer. So by enabling this feature, because your technology, your software, your business solution is having these rich facilities that are there in the product. So make use of that, leverage this, and this is where it helps you to be more disciplined and have better visibility of your operations. So we have seen all my purchase orders I have taken, capture them so that I can view them, the pending orders, and a lot of other MIS reports are there, which basically probably when I get into another session where I can get into a separate session of managing your purchase order and sale order. So what all things you can do, because there are too many questions will be there in your mind. Right, couple of them is that, okay, what happens if there is a rate change that is going to happen, or what happens I want to cancel the order, what happens if partial order is getting cancelled. So there are so many questions that are there, which Tally takes care of it, and every software is going to take care of it. That we will, I think we should be doing that as a separate session where we concentrate on these area. But remember that, a lot of MIS can be generated through this thing, right? Through this enabling these features. So now what I've done, I am now tracking my purchase orders of all my item. I am also tracking my sale order of all my item. So one more thing that I would want to do is that I would now, based on my outward supply and based on my other factors, I would also want to set up what is the minimum stock that I want to hold always with me, so that I don't land up. We saw that we more majority of the stock that we have today is more than 90 days. I don't want to get into a position. So what I also want to do is that now I am going to say that each of the item I know what is the basically the lead time that I'm going to get the material. Again, this lead time could be it's a factor depending on your vendor. If the vendor is within your city, then the lead time is lesser. If the vendor is outside the state or outside your, I mean, like far away places. I mean, like say you are in, let's say for example, you are in Bangalore and you need to get the material from Mumbai or from Delhi, then there is a lead time there. So depending on these various parameters that you apply, and out of the experience in your business, definitely you know that what is going to be the lead time for you to get a particular item when you order on a X date, right? So based on that, and also based on the trend of your outward supply, you will now know what should be the optimum level of stock that you want to maintain, what you intend to maintain, right? So, which is basically what we call that as my minimum stock, right? What is the minimum stock that I want to hold at any given point in time? Okay. So now let us say that you have decided that, okay, for each of this item, I have decided that this is the stock that I need to hold. I should not hold more than that. So if I do that based on my order, okay, based on my commitment to my sale and based on the order that I already placed on considering my commitment to my sale, okay, when you take all those things, see what is my stock, what is my purchase order that is pending, what is my sales order that is pending, and can the system tell me what is the net stock that I should be having, right? Based on these two criteria. And if my net stock is less, my system should tell me how much I should order, right? I don't want to calculate all those things. So all this thing happens by doing three very simple feature enablement in Tally. Number one, enable your purchase order. You will track all the order that you have already placed. Number two, enable your sale order and start capturing all the committed sale in your sale order. And number three, what you're going to do, you're going to come to the inventory master, and then you're going to set a reorder level. What is going to be your reorder level, right? How do you get to a reorder level? So I come here, I go to my stock group. Let me select laptop. Okay, so let me select laptop as the whole thing. Okay, and it's very simple, right? So I'm going to basically say what should be my minimum order. Okay, so what should be my reorder quantity? That means when my stock reaches a certain level, then I should reorder. So in this case, I'm saying if my Dell laptop i3, if I'm having 10 numbers, then I should reorder, right? So which means at any given point, you are saying this is the minimum stock that you have to hold. Okay, the moment your stock reaches this level, you have to reorder. Okay. Now, this is very simple by looking into the actual position. You will see your closing stock, you know what you have to reorder. But then you have future commitments to your customer. Maybe next week, next 10 days, next 15 days, next 30 days, you're supposed to supply. How is that going to come? That is where your sale order is going to pull that information. And sometimes you would have ordered some based on the customer order that you have received. Immediately, you would have called your supplier and you have ordered for the material, right? So that, how do you know that how much of order is supposed to come? Right? So based on the purchase order and based on the sale order, and once you set up your reorder level here for your item, you can set up for any item. It's not necessary that you have to set up for all the item. Whichever item you feel is important, high value item, then you can set that thing. And minimum order quantity is again depending on the survey, depending on your vendor, right? Simple example, like for example, if you say mouse, right? I'm just giving a weird example. Let us say mouse, you want to have minimum of say 20 numbers, right? But then your reorder level should be 20 numbers, which means the moment your mouse stock comes to 20, you have to reorder. But then the supplier there, if you are going to reorder mouse, it comes in one carton or it comes in a box of 25 numbers. So the wholesaler is not going to give you single piece. Whenever you want to buy, you have to buy a complete box, which has got 25 numbers. So your minimum order your reorder level should be what? 20 is what you have done. But then you cannot order 20 to this particular supplier because the minimum supply that he is going to do is 25 because it comes in one box. He is not going to break that box or open or sell it in loose. So in that case, you can also specify what is your minimum order quantity. So by doing this, there is a beautiful report in Tally where you can see what is the quantity of stock that you should order for each of your stock item. Tally will tell you based on this parameter that you have set, and it will also go and pull out all the committed sales order that you have and all your future committed purchase order that you have. So how do you see that report? Very, very powerful report. So I come to display, then I come to a statement of inventory. Then there is one report here which says reorder status. So I come here to reorder status. Again, I can select my stock group. So I can select a particular group because I've given my reorder level only for my laptop. So I can come here and I can see that this is my laptop thing which is there. So this report you will now see. Let me just quickly explain. Let me take one. Okay, let me take this where you have sale order, purchase order, everything. So you have this HP laptop item, i7 that you have. So what is the stock that you are having? You are having 3 numbers in stock, right? You have already placed a purchase order of 1 number. Okay, that is also coming here. So the purchase order pending. You are supposed to receive 1 number. Then you already have a commitment of 3 numbers. Okay, so which means basically what happens, your net stock available is going to be 1 number. After you receive this 1 number and after you make your sale of 3 numbers, you are left with 1 number. And what is the reorder level you are given for this particular order? You are given a reorder level of 5. So that means basically at any given point in time you need to have when it reaches 5 you are going to reorder, which means your minimum stock should be 5. Okay, now Tally also is going sorry, Tally also is going to tell you what is the shortfall. It says after your commitment of 3 supply and after you receive 1 from your existing stock, if I reduce that, you are left with only 1 number. Okay, but you are supposed your minimum order level should be your reorder level is 5. So if 1 is already there in the stock, so how much balance you need? You need 4 more, right? So that is what Tally tells you. This is your shortfall. It says you need 4 more. Okay. Now in this case, it's your minimum order level. You have set 2. For example, let us say the minimum order level is say 5 numbers. So your shortfall is how much? 4 only. Okay, but you cannot order 4 because this guy is going to give you minimum 5 only. So in that case, if your minimum reorder quantity is more than your shortfall, then the order to be placed will be minimum order quantity and the other way around. In this case, my shortfall is 4, but my supplier is going to, even if I order minimum, so what he says, I cannot order 1. I have to order minimum 2. So my shortfall is 4. So I can, what is my order to be placed is 4. Right? So this way, by doing this, you will have a better control over your inventory and you have proper visibility of managing your inventory, right? So this is again the second pillar of Tally, the second pillar of business that you need to take care of. So the 2 pillars which we started off is, one is your cash flow management and your inventory management. So we have seen in the cash flow management, we have seen how you can utilize the features of your ERP or your business solution software that you have in managing your receivable payable by giving a default credit period. You can set up a credit limit and also various other things we saw, managing, intimating or giving you a warning of overdue bill, and also allowing you to, surpass the credit limit based on the post-dated check that you have received or the post-dated payment that you have received from your customer. The second aspect of it, we said, we saw that how not only you can manage your receivable payable using your Billwise Detail. Similarly, there are other things also where there are monthly inflow outflow for various other nature of account. So we saw that like your loans, whatever loan you are taking, if you want to track them month on month, what is your commitment, and definitely you have to track it for you to have a better and proper and accurate cash flow position, which we saw the cash flow projection, right? So we saw that how you can manage your the loans on a monthly basis using the Billwise technique in your non-trading account. And also we saw how you can manage with one single ledger for various advances that you disperse or provide to your employees. And also you can track them, saying that when is it going to be due, and have you collected that, have the money has been deducted from the salary slip, or making while making the salary payment. A lot of things that you can, combine and then have track of those items. So we saw that, and by doing these two things, one is the Billwise detail of your trading account, and also the Billwise detail of your non-trading account, is going to give you almost 90% accurate cash projections, because in each of these account, we have already specified when is this money due, right? We saw that installment one of 5 or 1 of 10. And also we have seen in the loan amount also, we have seen loan installment 1 of 5 and all those things. So based on the date that you have specified, Tally is going to pull, and based on your due date, it is going to project your cash flow. So that is taken care. So that is what I said, 90% of your cash projection is going to be accurate. What is the 10% that is missing? The 10% that is missing is your recurring payment, the future commitments, the fixed or the recurring payment, or which is going to which you are going to incur at a future date, is what you need to capture them. So we saw that how you can create an optional voucher in Tally, and start capturing those all your commitments, generally your salary commitments. And also if you want to capture your recurring variable charges. What are the recurring variable charges? The recurring variable charges is basically your consumption based expenses, your electricity, your mobile bills, and all those things. So you can take some average figure and start capturing them as an optional voucher or as a projections, and then you will now get a proper 100% cash projections for you to be managing your cash flow or your working capital in a better manner, so that you are informed about your future difficulties or shortfalls, whichever is there. It allows you to concentrate and make sure that you are well prepared, and you are able to meet those contingencies at the required point in time. Then we saw the second pillar is basically managing your inventory, because the more number of days you hold your inventory, it is going to block your working capital. And also if it is blocking your working capital, and then it is going to impact your return on investment and various other aspects of it, right? So we saw how you can again use your system or the technology that you are using to make sure that you are on top of it. So four important aspect we saw. One is that we saw what are the stocks which are fast moving, slow moving, non moving item. The second thing we saw, which item that I'm dealing with gives me a better GP margin, we saw. Then we also saw, apart from that, we also saw that did I make, if I want to know, did I make a profit on each sales invoice that I've made, which has got variety or various item with various GP? Did I make, overall, did I make a profit out of this sale? We saw how you can view that information. And the third aspect, the fourth one, what we saw was that how do you manage a lean inventory? So how do you configure certain features in Tally that are available, or in your technology that are available, and make sure that the technology or the software is going to tell you how much of material that you have to place order. Okay, so that we don't land up what we saw in this example, so that we don't land up having majority of my stock holding for more than 90 days. Okay. So how do you do that? So we saw we enabled the purchase order and sales order module or feature that is available in majority of the software. So by whatever is my purchase commitment orders that I have placed, I'm capturing that. And whatever is my commitment to my customer, I'm capturing those commitments also, right? And the third one I did was I specified the reorder level for each of the item. By doing that, the system is giving me a report which is a very, very critical report, which basically it considers various parameters. What are the parameters it considers? It considers what is the stock that I'm holding now. It also takes into consideration what is my pending purchases that are pending. It also captures what are my pending sales commitment that is there. Based on that, it is going to tell you what is your net stock that is available. Based on the net stock, it considers what should be your minimum stock level or what should be your reorder level. It considers that, and it is also going to tell you what is the shortfall, right? If there is a shortfall, then it is going to, pull out those quantities. What is the quantity which is shortfall? So based on the shortfall and based on the minimum order criteria, depending on the item and the client, right, it is also going to tell you very clearly. The report is going to tell you how much of order that you have to place, or what quantity that you have, what quantity of order that you are supposed to place for this particular item, right? So in conclusion, what I would request all of you is that I'm sure that many of you are going to use are using the technology, and start exploring and see whether you can enable these functionalities and features, and have better control over the your business activities or your business operations, your cash flow. You have a better control over your cash flow management, working capital. Okay, the next question. Okay, supposing if you are using Tally, right? So how do I know this thing? I mean, like this 1 hour, 1 hour, 15 minutes that we have spent, it gives you an idea that yes, I think you can do this, but how to do it is a big question, right? So one is the time aspect of it. The second is, then where do I get the knowledge, right? Now, I mean, like, there are a lot of things. Like if you see Tally in their website, they have a lot of, how to videos are there. Then Tally has a YouTube channel where there are a lot of videos that are available for each kind of thing. And we also conduct a lot of sessions, one-to-one, one-to-many sessions we conduct. In person we conduct, we do implementation, we do training and all those things. Probably you could get in touch with us in case if you wanted, or if you want to try it yourself, do it yourself. If you want to do it, go to YouTube, and you just type whatever you are looking for. You just say credit period, setting credit limit in Tally. Supposing if you are using Tally, I'm saying setting credit limit in Tally, enter. You will find hundreds of video from so many people where it is very easy for you to set it up. So you can do all those things, and we are always there in case of any questions, any further queries, or any clarification you need. You can always get back to us. You can always write to Mr. Vasuki, SME Yatra. You can write. Uh, uh, the email is there with you. You have the contact number. You can always get back to us, and wishing you all the very best and a very bright future, so that you are on top of your cash flow management, and manage your inventory in a better way, and have a very strong two pillars of your organization. Thank you very much.